A leader in the Nova Scotia construction industry says the province's housing crunch needs to be treated as a once-in-a-generation challenge. The province is expected to be short more than 41,000 homes by 2028. Duncan Williams is president and CEO of the Construction Association of Nova Scotia. So you're calling the housing shortage in this province a generational challenge. Can you talk a bit about why you think that?
Yeah, I think the housing challenge we have is multifaceted. We're going to need creative minds and eager people at the table when it comes to how do we solve this problem. It's not going to be solved by one industry or a government entity or anybody in particular. I think we're going to need all hands on deck, if you will. I have compared it to, the effort after wartime, how we respond, how we mobilize, and how we focus.
And what's the parallel you're drawing in terms of that?
Well, at that time, we dedicated a lot of time, resources, and energies to making sure that we could build efficiently. And it meant that we looked at certain rules, regulations, and said, how can we make those more efficient, whether it's on a temporary basis or a long-term basis? Really looking at things that are legacies that are still impacting the way we build and think about how we do construction and build in the province of Nova Scotia. So, for example, do we look to cooperatives as part of the solution? I think we have to. Do we look to off-site construction as part of the solution? I think we have to. Do we look at alternative forms of financing for those projects? I think we have to. So there's not going to be a silver bullet. It took us a long time to get to this point in time, and it's going to take us a minute to get back. But being that it is so complex and there's so many moving pieces, there aren't going to be single solutions that fix it. And certainly we're going to have to put in the same kind of effort that we would have done in those areas as well.
Well, do you think the trades are ready for that kind of challenge?
I think that's part of the challenge is we don't have enough of the trades right now. So that is part of what we have to look at. And the announcement a few weeks ago by the province was intended to expedite training programs, condense them, and make sure that we still at the same time maintain safety and quality controls.
Well, how many more tradespeople does the industry need?
Well, if you look at the magnitude of the problem across the country, some of our estimates are in the neighborhood of 300,000 new bodies in the next 5 to 7 years. I'm not exactly sure what that looks like. If we have other major projects come on, those numbers change dramatically as well. So I don't know that anybody has a really strong number that they could point to say this is the infinite number or definite number, sorry. What we do know is that we have a significant challenge right now, and our estimates are between 2,000 and 3,000 jobs are unfilled right now in Nova Scotia that we could fill.
Mm-hmm. Now, you were on a recruiting trip to London, England. How did that go?
It went very well. It's evidence of we are pulling out all the stops, and we're working as industry and partner associations, partner development agencies, as well as the provincial government representatives with us as well. And those things are long overdue, in my opinion. I think we have to do more of them if we're going to solve these things. It's not going to be any particular agency or organization that has the answers here. We need everybody at the table.
And there is one coming up in Toronto soon, correct?
Yeah, our counterparts are there as we speak, I believe.
And what are you hoping that will achieve?
Well, for those who see Nova Scotia as a viable place to live, work, play, raise a family, this is what we're trying to achieve, is understanding what are the motivations of those folks and do they have the skill sets to match the job offerings that we have here in Nova Scotia right now.
Do you think we need to change the way we train tradespeople? Is that part of it?
We are already starting to do that. We're putting more emphasis on direct entry as one example. So that means somebody coming out of high school can go to work tomorrow for a company that wants to indenture them and provide the opportunities for them to go through their levels of apprenticeship training. They can start earning and learning at the same time. That's one thing that we are emphasizing more. There's also the post-secondary options that are available for people to go and pursue post-secondary education where that suits their needs as well. So with that, we're also trying to figure out how to shorten those programs without compromising quality of the instruction and without compromising safety.
So housing starts are down, interest rates up, and cost of supplies is up. Aren't things sort of heading in the wrong direction, and how doable is this?
I think the key here is that we have to make sure that things line up. So we need efficient policy. We need efficient transportation. We need efficient training. We need to make sure that all of these things line up. Interest rates are a factor, of course. However, we still see strong demand. So what you're seeing in terms of downturn right now is not necessarily a direct and singular connection to just interest rates. That is an impact, but it's actually the availability of workforce and materials that is actually slowing starts right now.
All right. Well, Mr. Williams, thank you very much for your time today. We do appreciate it.
Anytime, Amy. Take care.